Every data journey starts with a question, or does it? Sometimes you know the path and the process to use. Other times it can feel unclear and overwhelming. Sometimes AI can help you, but other times you need to discover your own path. I'm Katrina Meny, product evangelist at Sigma. Today's launch is all about how you Sigma your own path. When you Sigma your path, you get speed, scale, and simplicity, helping you to explore data, build smarter workflows, and deliver insights across your organization, all without waiting on someone else. Let's jump in. As part of today's launch, we're introducing Reveal, a new way to instantly surface insights, major AI updates to explore data without needing to know what questions to ask, powerful reporting and modeling features to make business-critical workflows scalable, new data app tools to automate actions and streamline processes, and Sigma Tenants, a scalable foundation to manage access, content, and control across internal and embedded use cases. Finally, we're excited to hear from customers Duolingo and Built on how they use Sigma Tenants to scale with confidence. Now, we're going to generate our path to the future with AI. I'm joined by Marwan, who leads our AI initiatives at Sigma, as well as an unidentifiable AI expert.
Nailed it.
I hope you understand that in this competitive market, we have to protect the identities of our AI talent.
Of course, but secret identities aside, walk me through where Sigma is taking AI next.
Sigma is already the most approachable and powerful way to work with your cloud data. We view AI as an accelerator that will allow our users to do more with Sigma and their data, and to enable all members of every organization to be data-driven.
With AI, we're expanding what you can do. We're already making it faster and easier to work with data, and we're moving to a point where AI can do some of that work for you.
AI in Sigma will help you discover, analyze, build, and connect to the broader AI ecosystem.
Awesome. Tell me more. How did this vision come to life in the product?
Let's start with how AI in Sigma helps you discover data and surface relevant findings. The first step of working with data is understanding what data even exists within your organization.
Most AI solutions forget that first step's actually really difficult. We all want to jump to questions, but in most cases, you need to be an expert in the data to know the questions you can ask of it.
So that's why Sigma now gives you the option to immediately explore the data available to you and interact with it directly. It's an AI-curated knowledge base that we call Discover.
It really allows the user to focus on what the data has to say, instead of where and how it's stored.
Even before you type, you can explore the data that matters.
Exactly. And we've got a second update to Ask Sigma, which falls into that theme of analysis with AI. When you ask a question about data, Ask Sigma can now deliver workbooks as answers. So if a vetted workbook already answers your query, Ask Sigma will point you straight to it. You get context, business logic, and human-approved detail in the analysis.
It's one feedback loop so your organization can build more relevant workbooks, and AI can make use of it and improve its answers.
Plus, Ask Sigma can take advantage of your semantic layer. So if you have models, metrics, and relationships defined, Ask Sigma will promote that information, adding to the organizational feedback loop.
You know what I love about Ask Sigma? You get discovery plus trusted content.
Right? It doesn't just give you an answer, it helps you understand your data.
So we've covered how AI in Sigma helps you analyze and discover. What's new on the build and ecosystem side?
Well, building off of Ask Sigma, we can evolve and extend this functionality to apps and workbooks. I'm happy to share that you can now build data apps in Sigma with natural language prompts. Simply describe your data workflow, and Sigma will generate a draft of the app or dashboard for you. This saves you time, improves productivity, and lowers the barrier to building data apps.
AI Builder is a chat copilot in the workbook that helps builders design, create, and understand workbooks. Imagine we're thinking about an app to capture and track product sales, but we're not sure how to set up the workbook. We can ask AI Builder for a plan. It starts by highlighting what we need: a way to enter data, a place to view results, and a layout that feels easy to use. From these suggested next steps, let's choose adding the input table and form to capture sales. It automatically suggests some fields we would expect for this use case. We don't need region or salesperson, but let's go with everything else. Since we're creating an input table, we need to identify a connection. And now the builder starts adding elements to the page. It creates a form with the fields we previously confirmed and the matching input table. So let's check out what it suggests for next steps. Generating some sample data is a great idea. These rows look good, so I think we're ready to move on to analytics. Let's ask for some recommendations for tracking sales. The builder responds not only with some options, but why we might want to select them. I think the line chart makes sense here. And there it is. Oh, and you know what? I love a good bar chart. Let's add that too. This is a solid start for visuals, but I agree that we need some filters for interaction. With those created, it's time to organize. Let's move these charts and filters to a new tab. And every good tab needs a strong title? Yeah, I think product sales trends make sense. But let's tweak the styling a bit so it's more noticeable. So far, I think our workbook is pretty solid, but maybe we're missing something. Let's see if the builder has any suggestions for us. Nice. We have a wide range of recommendations to choose from. I think moving the order form to a pop-up modal makes the most sense. With our modal in place, let's go back to the Sales Analytics tab. Yep, there's our button to open the modal. And that's it. AI Builder puts a Sigma expert in the workbook with us. We just talk it through and the app takes shape in front of us.
This AI Builder gets about 80% of the work done for you, and you can easily just edit the last 20% to fit your exact needs.
So you riff off of AI's first pass and polish as you go. I vibe with that.
And finally, we're extending Sigma into your broader AI ecosystem by making Sigma interoperable with other AI services.
MCP extensibility.
I hear you. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol, but let's break it down for everyone. What's the simplest way to think about it?
Basically, just think of it as APIs for your LLMs. Sigma can leverage information or agents that other businesses build. At the same time, we're exposing some of our capabilities for others to consume.
Sounds like a great way for every enterprise to personalize their AI experience within Sigma.
Yes, with interoperability, AI in Sigma is more capable because it can leverage enterprise-built AI capabilities and data. At the same time, we're enabling Sigma's AI capabilities to live in other chat experiences, such as Claude or ChatGPT, or those built by enterprises for their own internal use.
It opens the door to new possibilities for data and AI.
Love it. Well, it's great to see what's new and learn more about the AI vision at Sigma. Props to you and our deeply committed team of AI experts.
Hey, I literally cannot be poached. I've been fine-tuned for loyalty.
All right, let's move on before a tech recruiter sees this.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I gotta crash this product launch. Katrina, team, great stuff, truly. However, there's some more AI stuff that we've been cooking up. And listen, I'm not really supposed to tell you this. Rob, our co-founder, usually gets upset with me, but I don't give a shit. It's too cool to keep under wraps. So, check this out. I've got a beautiful workbook here. Oh, what's that? AI chat element? We'll just drag that right in. Boom. It's a customizable AI agent built right into your Sigma workflows. Now, let's give this thing some instructions. Okay, Sigma AI, today you're a restaurant expert. I've got all this review data from Google Maps and Yelp that I've imported into Sigma. We're going to add a custom tool, in this case, an ambiance filter, ooh la la, that matches the review to a particular adjective. You know, like divey, hipster, touristy, upscale. Now, I just string up some classic Sigma actions. In this case, triggering the agent to update my ambiance filter control with the adjective that describes it. Now that that's done, we're back to chatting with Sigma AI. Hey, I'd like to find a dive bar. The agent automatically updates the ambiance filter, and I've got a list of spots to match my chosen aesthetic. Okay, but I don't love dive bars. What about date spots? Boom. Romantic filter applied. Pretty f***ing cool, right? This is a new conversational layer that makes every workbook smarter and more productive. I'm calling it just another knowledge engine, or Jake for short, for now. And let me tell you, we use it internally all the time at Sigma on Sigma. In our forecasting workbook, reps, managers, all the way up to our C-suite are in there asking questions like, who is our competitor on this deal? What are the next steps? So on and so forth. It's been a major driver of moving faster across the business. Anyways, I'm gonna go back on vacation while Jake does most of the work for me. Back to your regularly scheduled product launch. See ya!
Built, a company that is owning the end-to-end real estate ecosystem. We are helping customers through the whole real estate life cycle, thinking about how do you move financial payments faster, how are you leveraging data to really improve the operations of your business, from lenders to permanent asset managers. We're helping folks all the way through the ecosystem on our platform. Our client success team was spending hours and hours building reports for customers as they onboarded. Speed is foundational to how we operate at Built, and the speed of information is a huge part of what Sigma offers to our customers.
By introducing Sigma, our team was able to help our customers navigate complicated ideas within construction. And now that we're able to enable customers to build the reports on their own, they're able to iterate faster in ways that we couldn't iterate for them. Sigma Tenants allows us to really deeply integrate our reporting platform with our enterprise application. It allows us to mirror Sigma enterprise software, which is of course across many different environments. We can build really strong walls in which the data is only ever accessible within that single tenant.
Sigma Tenants is a critical part of how we continue to provide data security to our customers. We want to ensure that we are giving our customers peace of mind that we're protecting their data. That has always been top of mind for us. And Sigma makes that path that much easier.
We are now able to introduce these AI features, including how can I build this formula? How can I explain this chart? And really most exciting, of course, going to be Ask Sigma.
So being part of the data team at Built, it allows us to take advantage of features that Sigma is consistently building, especially in the generative AI space. We're very excited about the features that will allow customers to understand things like their charts faster, understand how to build formulas and self-serve in a way that is really unique to the Sigma space.
Is Sigma allowing us to really compete in a serious way in this space? And the answer to that question is absolutely yes.
We're in a really unique position where working with an industry that has been doing this for a very long time and has a lot of runway left in terms of how we can improve efficiency. So being part of the data team at Built is really an exciting part of that process and ensuring that we can be part of this change and something that's bigger than just Built.
We're unveiling Reveal, a new way to explore and understand your data, no matter your role or skill set. You heard me right. We're building a new interface for working with data designed for anyone who needs to figure out what's driving the numbers. Whether you're deep in analytics or building a story for your next meeting, this is for you. Sometimes you're not trying to build a whole report. You're just curious. You want to poke around, get a feel for what's driving the numbers, reveal what's changing. That's why today we're introducing Sigma Reveal, a data discovery tool that lets you explore your data in an intuitive way. Let's jump in and take a look at it. Let's say we want to explore order count to better understand what's driving trends. With Reveal, I can easily investigate a dimension like product type without losing the rest of my data's context. Let's add product family to split out the numbers to see how each product family is driving sales. Next, let's add region. And actually, let's rearrange it so we look at our region first, then the rest of our product information. Let's explore audio in particular. I can see our order count is on a downward trend, but what about MP3 players and refurbished MP3 players? This is interesting. All three are on a downward trend. Let's take a quick look at the order count percentage breakdown to see if there's any differences. Right now, music is representing about 75% of our order count. Let's see how that compares to our total sales. I simply switch to our sales metrics, and interesting, it's only about 28%. Reveal makes it easy to understand individual drivers without losing perspective across all of our data. No SQL, no functions, no guessing the right prompt, just your curiosity, a dataset, and Reveal. That's how you Sigma your path, with exploration that keeps pace with your questions, even when you don't know them. Enterprise reporting is where everything from finance, operations, and beyond comes together. When it's running smoothly, everyone's speaking the same language and making decisions with confidence. When it's not, well, that's a different story. And that's why I'm joined by Dylan, our Senior Director of Product Management, and Akshay, our Product Manager for Creator and Exports. So guys, what are folks telling you about enterprise reporting?
Yeah, thanks, Katrina. For most teams, enterprise reporting is still just a huge time sink. You've got manual exports, complex pivots, and outdated PDFs just to get the right information out.
And when you're making decisions on last week's numbers or spending hours on formatting and distribution, it's just not sustainable. That's why we're excited to announce new workflows that let each team chart, Sigma, their own path to faster and smarter reporting.
Yeah, we have some awesome new features lined up.
Whether you're modeling, reporting, or exploring, Sigma helps you work the way you want to.
It's time to move beyond slow manual reporting. Let's look at what's possible when all of this comes together in Sigma.
Reshaping data is one of the things that eats up way more time than it should. Analysts still spend hours exporting to Excel just to flip rows and columns or add a quick calculation. And half the time, that change breaks a formula.
Yeah, either that or you're stuck waiting for someone else to prep the data for you. Either way, it slows everything down.
Exactly. Now you can do all that and more right inside Sigma. With transpose tables available today, you can swap rows and columns instantly. And soon, you'll be able to add custom rows and columns in your pivots, so your formulas stay right alongside your data.
That's so exciting. Way more flexibility for analysis and no more Excel escape hatch. But that's not even the whole list of features.
Absolutely. We are also adding a better built-in way to filter hierarchies so you can move through any data relationship quickly and intuitively.
Love it. Let's show everyone how it works.
This journal entries table has a single column for our forecast and actuals. We need to transpose the reporting column so the forecast and actual rows become side-by-side columns. We start by clicking on the element menu, then element source, and select transpose. Our transpose type, turning rows into columns, is already selected, so next we select the column to transpose, in this case, reporting. Next, we select which value fields we want to transpose, and can adjust the aggregation method if needed. A live preview shows the impact before applying changes. Once submitted, the table refreshes with the new layout tailored for the questions we want to answer. Next, let's look at how Sigma is making pivot tables even more powerful. First, filtering. I can now add a built-in hierarchy filter to easily navigate top-level accounts, subcategories, individual lines, and everything in between. Now, let's say we need to add an ad hoc calculation to find the adjusted cost of goods. We can do this by inserting a row and renaming it to adjusted COGS. Then type in the formula bar our cost of goods minus the other product costs. Note how we can reference other values from our pivot tables, but this formula is using our actuals numbers for our forecasting column as well. Let's fix that by clicking on the column and updating the formula. Transpose, hierarchies, and custom rows. Together, these capabilities give teams the freedom to analyze the data the way they think. With Sigma, you're not just looking at dashboards, you're shaping the analysis that drives decisions faster than ever before.
Getting insights is great, but making sure reports look exactly how you pictured them and getting them to the right people without a second thought, that's when reporting really delivers. And Akshay, I can tell you're bursting with excitement about the features that make this possible.
Exactly. First up is pixel perfect reporting. You can create everything from compliance reports to investor-ready PDFs on live data with exact logos, precise pagination, and branded layouts you control. No design workarounds, no sale extracts, just the report you envision, exactly as you envisioned it.
Yeah, and then enterprise bursting takes everything to the next level. Every stakeholder gets their own slice of the report, filtered, secured, and scheduled automatically.
That means finance, ops, and customer teams can send personalized, accurate statements at scale without the app developer doing any extra work.
Let's perfect and burst, Sigma, our path all the way to the inbox. Let's see it in Sigma.
Let's say we work on the customer operations team at a bank and we need to create monthly statements. With Pixel Perfect Reporting, we can design a PDF exactly as needed. Let's start by adding an image such as our company logo, resize it exactly as needed, Then click and drag it into the header so it will repeat on every page. In addition to a logo, we can include calculated fields like our starting balance, withdrawals, deposits, and ending balance. Our report also includes a table listing out every single transaction. With pixel-perfect reporting, it can repeat for as many pages as needed automatically. Now that our report is ready to go, let's send it out. To deliver these at scale, we can use enterprise bursting. We can set up the burst so each customer gets their own statement securely by email with their own data. It's fully automated and we can customize the date and time that it's sent out. Let's send the first report now. And here's what the customer gets. A branded, professional PDF with clear summaries and paginated tables that's been personalized to them. No manual work, no errors, just the right report to the right person every time. For customer-facing teams, finance, or compliance, this is how Sigma makes it easy to deliver high-quality statements at scale with confidence in every number and every page.
Every client now gets a branded, up-to-date PDF in their inbox. No manual work, no errors. So far, we've looked at features that help make reports look amazing. But without trusted data, even the most polished report is just decoration.
That's right. Bad metrics break trust. And hunting through dozens of reports for a single error wastes more time than any manual export ever did. That's where content validation comes in. The moment someone changes the data model, Sigma flags every affected chart or report and shows you exactly what's broken and why. No guesswork and no more midnight scrambles.
I'm so excited to skip the this one step of my modeling.
And we're taking trust further with our semantic layer updates. We built a deep DBT core integration so you see pipeline tests and metadata right inside Sigma. We've integrated with the Snowflake semantic layer to make your defined metrics like revenue, churn, lifetime value consistent everywhere. And we're finally building semantic aggregates to automatically detect one-to-many and many-to-many relationships so your aggregations are always accurate without any extra warehouse prep. But this won't be available for a few months.
In this data model, we had been prototyping off of the point of sale data, but now we're ready to replace it with our productionalized data. Let's delete the point of sale element. We can see that Sigma is prompting us to validate our content. First, we identify the new element mapping. Then we map columns individually. And this data source doesn't have product key, it's included elsewhere. So for this example, we'll do quantity, price, and cost. Order number was mapped automatically. Once we publish the changes, the error clears and everything goes back to a healthy state. No workbook downtime. With their dbt core metadata integration, developers can now send Sigma the run artifacts from their dbt jobs. Sigma parses those artifacts and enriches your model's dbt-specific metadata like column and table descriptions and the compiled SQL to Sigma. Here's how it works. We've exposed a public endpoint where you can send dbt artifacts. For example, in a GitHub action, I can compress the contents of my target directory, including the manifest and run result files. Then I generate a Sigma access token to authenticate into the API, upload the dbt artifacts into the artifact endpoint, and that's it. Sigma automatically parses the artifacts and extracts the necessary metadata. You can see an example of that script running on every pull request, compressing the target directory, generating the access token, uploading the artifacts to Sigma, and cleaning up the temporary files. In Sigma, I can view the metadata like column and table descriptions, run results, and the SQL used to generate this model. This metadata gets pulled directly into workbooks and data models, so I can build with full context. Here you can see the column description, the unique station ID, and the station name. This integration brings richer dbt metadata into Sigma, reducing data quality issues, building trust, and helping you move faster. Snowflake semantic views let you define key business metrics once, directly in the warehouse, and make them instantly available across Sigma and your downstream tools. Here, we're starting with a new table and selecting the semantic view connection from our data source. You can see all the data sources available. Let's choose our point of sale transactions. By clicking into metrics, I see every governed metric ready for me to use. Next, let's visualize this in a chart. I can create a child element, pull in my brand on my x-axis, then select my metric gross margin. Note how the calculation description automatically flows through. With a Sigma metric, our data is automatically correctly aggregated to the level of our data. With this approach, teams can query high-level concepts like customer segments without misaligned numbers, delivering stronger governance, fewer errors, and consistent metrics across Sigma.
Akshay, Dylan, this is so much great stuff.
Thank you. That's what we do.
To recap, Sigma is reimagining modern reporting with flexible pivots, boardroom layouts, scaled delivery, and bulletproof trust, all in one seamless flow.
Yeah, we're shaving off hours off your cycle and guaranteeing that every number you share is rock solid, so you or your teams can focus on the more important work.
I think it's time for our customers to Sigma their own path to reporting excellence and give those spreadsheets a well-earned vacation they've been begging for. As companies grow, data isolation gets messy. One big Sigma instance becomes a tangled web of permissions and shared spaces. Today, we fix that. Here with me are Matt, software engineer for tenants, and Jordan, our product manager for data models. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Excited to be here.
Is the housing market that bad that you guys created tenants?
It's not quite that bad, but we know that when teams share a single workspace, you run the risk of either overexposing sensitive data or drowning in manual governance checks.
Exactly. Neither option scales when you hit dozens or hundreds of departments.
When you're serving all those teams or embedded analytics for external customers, you need each group to work independently without risking data leaks. But you still need governance and visibility.
It's such a headache. Teams want autonomy, but admins want control. Someone's always losing.
Not anymore. Today, we're introducing Sigma Tenants, fully isolated workspaces for each team. Think of each tenant as its own mini Sigma. Isolated workbooks, data, users, and permissions, all within one platform.
So I can put away the headache meds?
At least for this headache. APIs let you spin up tenants programmatically, no manual setup. You can provision hundreds of isolated environments in minutes, each inheriting your global policies.
We also created delegated admin controls to hand off tenant-level permissions to local owners without giving them access to the entire system.
Finally, administrators get full usage and audit logs at both the parent and tenant level. This lets you see every action across all tenants. Each tenant can monitor its own logs for governance and troubleshooting.
That sounds like an exciting new addition. Should we jump into the demo?
Let's do it.
All right, let's hop in.
Let's start in the admin console. On the left-hand navigation bar, we'll see tenants. These represent the different organizations we are managing within the parent environment, in this case, production and QA. From here, we'll click into deployment policies. This is where we can define which documents get shared with which tenants and what data sources to use. We'll add a document, set the permissions to Can Explore from the dropdown, and then search through my recent work. Let's choose product data and add it. By clicking into the shared with, I can see this document will be available for my prod and QA tenants. If I need to, I can click Add Tenant to share with additional tenants. Sigma will automatically swap the sources so each tenant connects to their own data. Next, we'll open my QA tenant as the administrator. This feature allows me to step into the tenant's view, validate what they're seeing, and administer. I can see the workspaces this tenant has access to, including the product data document we just shared. Clicking into it opens a workbook with charts and dashboards built specifically off of their QA connection. This ensures each tenant will get the same governed experience, but with their own secure data. Let's add a new user. We'll go back to the admin dashboard, where here we can simply invite a new user by entering their email. Notice we can choose from the different account types. We'll pick Analyze. With just a few clicks, I've provisioned the right access with the right permissions. Now let's see what it would look like for an administrator of the production account to log in and administer for themselves. Let's also add a new user. Following the same steps, we navigate to the admin dashboard and click into Users. From here, we invite another user with Analyze access. While we're here, let's also look at the previously viewed workbook. From my home page, we'll open the product data workspace and click into the document. Notice that even though we followed the exact same flow, the production tenant sees a different workbook built on a different data source. This guarantees consistency in structure, but complete isolation of data between tenants.
With secure, isolated environments in place, teams can focus on building and governing data, not wrangling permissions. Now, let's bridge the gap between visual modeling and engineering workflows.
Data modeling today lives in two camps: a visual canvas for analysts and code repos for engineers. Never both.
Yeah, that divide slows everyone down. The two camps have great views on both sides, just no bridge connecting them.
Traditional data modeling forces you to choose between ease of use and robust engineering workflows. We think it's most powerful when your business users and engineers can collaborate in the same platform. So we're introducing code representation for Sigma data models. Now, every Sigma model has a YAML representation plus API endpoints behind it. Analytics engineers can version models in Git, write tests, and deploy, while analysts keep the visual interface they love.
We talk about Sigma being a company's single UI to data. This really solves the missing data modeling link, unifying business users and engineering teams in one seamless workflow.
That's right. The path to data modeling should fit your team, not the other way around.
That's a great perspective. It's the best of both worlds. Now, let's show what it looks like.
We've built a new endpoint to pull down the YAML for a data model. Using the CLI utility, I'll pull down the Plugs electronic data model code. As you can see, all the code is here. I've added this to a Git repo where I store my Sigma code. The YAML file includes everything in the data model: pages, the elements within the page, and their properties, like columns, metrics, and relationships. Because this is code, we can edit the data model configuration file directly. For example, by adding a new metric here. Then, with the In Development Update API, we can push these changes back to Sigma, so the edit is instantly reflected in my instance. Exposing data models as YAML lets teams treat them like code, enabling faster development with version control and pull requests, stronger governance with CI/CD testing, and better collaboration across teams.
That's code representation for data models. YAML exports, API endpoints, Git back reviews, automated tests, and visual canvas all working together.
Your models now flow through your existing code workflows. No more manual handoffs.
And business users keep the drag and drop interface they love, while engineers get full transparency and control.
Everyone models their path to seamless governed data logic.
Our goal as a company is to make high-quality education universally available. One of the big elements of Duolingo culture is a culture of self-service. Duolingo, we receive over 10 billion rows of data a day. We want everyone in the company to feel comfortable working with data, accessing it, exploring it, without needing to rely on a data scientist or engineer to keep them unblocked. We were looking for a tool that gave us a lot of power to visualize much more easily. We looked at your tableaus and we looked at your lookers, but one of the things we really found appealing about Sigma was this notion that a lot of it was very self-service. You already understand how to use something like a Google Sheets or Excel, and that interface is very similar to what you can do here, just at scale. However, not all of the data we have in our Sigma ecosystem should be accessible to everyone in the company. So by having Sigma Tenants, we expect that we can take some of the most sensitive data, put it in a particular tenant environment, and then in the other environment, we can be much more lax about who has those administrative permissions. It really is an unlock in terms of administrating Sigma to be able to remove out the requirement that the admins have to be able to see the most sensitive data in the ecosystem. When we started using Sigma, our case was let's just do it like we would with any other data visualization tool. Then we gradually realized, okay, we can introduce all of these interactive components. We also then discovered that Sigma can be used to actually build tools we would have had to build in-house before, and has allowed us to build applications that only show information to the people who should see it. What's exciting is there's only about maybe 3 to 5 people working on actually building the things in Sigma, but just recently we've seen that there are literally hundreds of people in the company who are then using the tools that they've built. When Duolingo employees are faced with a new challenge, they'll often say, is there a way I can automate this challenge? Is there a way we could use AI to solve this without doing as much manual work? We've seen Sigma releasing new experimental AI features. The Formula Assistant tool has been a great addition. I've been using that a lot. But when I describe my challenge to the AI bot, it's able to craft exactly the right formula I need. That type of innovation is something we're really excited about in the Sigma ecosystem. We're making a lot of these challenging skills to develop much more accessible to everyone worldwide. So we have a lot of new areas we're exploring in the app. It's like math, music, now chess. With these new subjects, we might start to ask different sorts of questions. This will be a process that will be very data intensive. Sigma will help us explore new features like chess and understand exactly how our learners are interacting with them and where we can make improvements. Both our advancements in the language app and a lot of these new areas we're exploring, chess and music and math, I think those are all really exciting frontiers for us.
Dashboards will always be a key part of how teams understand their data, but for many business teams, they're looking for more ways to get value from their data. I'm here with Ruchi, Senior Product Manager at Sigma, to learn about how apps are helping teams do exactly that.
Hey, Katrina. So expectations for what data platforms should deliver are racing past traditional dashboards and reporting. Most business teams I talk to have real workflow needs. They're trying to run approvals, update records, collaborate across departments, and traditional tools don't really support that. So what do? They've always had to revert to spreadsheets. That's where data apps are helpful. They let you input data, automate steps, and actually work together, all from the same live data source. And we've made building apps dramatically simpler than anything else out there. BI tools, spreadsheets, software, and even low-code platforms.
In my work as an analytics consultant, I've seen how data apps help teams move faster, reduce tools, and improve accuracy, especially in something like finance month-end reporting. So Ruchi, what new app goodies do you have for us?
Our newest features give much more control over how you work with your data and make your data work for you. We're excited about moving from analytics to apps like real-time finance workflows, sales forecasting, and supply chain management. First, if-else actions let you define branching logic with clicks, not code. This lets you trigger approvals, route anomalies, or apply different rules as data or input changes. We're also adding update rows. Right now, you can update a single record at a time, but with update rows, you can bulk edit or delete records with just one click.
All of these features are they make it even easier to complete complex iterative flows quickly.
Absolutely. We've actually also added single row views. This lets you turn any row into a focused information card where you can embed images, badges, custom layouts, and more, so users can get the right details at a glance.
So you get just the info you need without digging through tables and tabs.
Exactly. Finally, we're adding notifications. Even the most curated workflows only delivers full value when it plugs into the rest of your technology ecosystem. With notifications, you can set data-driven triggers, exports, approvals, and data trends detected, and Sigma pushes alerts to Slack and email.
Nice, so you don't have to constantly check the app or manually follow up on approvals. Sigma tells you when it's time to act. I think we should walk everyone through how these features tie together to deliver business impact.
Sounds great, great idea.
I see this working perfectly for a budget approval workflow.
Let's use this data app to track submissions, approvals, and notify team members of updates. First, let's submit a budget request for an upcoming birthday party. Sigma will determine who the necessary approver is, and with the new alert options, send that individual a Slack message. In Slack, the approver sees a customized message, including information about the event request and a link back to Sigma and execute the next steps. Once back in Sigma, the approver can glance through the request or click in for more details. The single row view is an easy, built-in way to create detailed views in Sigma that are automatically synced to your input table's column structure. Let's ask for more information about this request. Again, using notifications and if-else logic, Sigma will determine the correct person and the correct notification path to prompt for more information. Finally, we're ready to update these 4 requests. By switching to bulk approve mode, selecting the events, and clicking update, we can use the bulk update row actions to change the status of all of these requests from a single click. And of course, we're also sending the original requesters an email notification sharing the approval or rejection notice. This app handles complex logic and keeps everyone current on status changes. It streamlines tasks like approvals so teams can move faster and stay on budget.
every step is streamlined and reflects real-time updates. This avoids custom software development and over-budget spend.
It's such a great example of how Sigma data apps make it easy to build processes that truly fit your business, easily paving a path from analytics to apps.
Every journey with data is unique, and now it's more powerful than ever. With Sigma Reveal, you can easily discover the insights that matter most. With updates to enterprise reporting, you can chart your path to clarity and control. With trusted data models, you can govern with confidence and scale with trust. With data apps, you can simplify your path from insight to action. With Sigma Tenants, you can scale your path securely and seamlessly. With AI embedded directly into the workbook, you can explore and create intelligence at every step. No matter where you are in your data journey, Sigma helps you move faster, build smarter, and go further. Every path forward, one platform.